Hey, what up, E-Dub? Just what you needed? Well, I'm here every day, so just got to join the power hour, man. I started a minute earlier, so let some people roll in here. We'll get going. How you doing, bud? Did you see what happened to DC today? Ugh, freaking horrible. You're too poor now? It's because you weren't in the show, damn it. Why do you got a headache? No headaches today. No headaches today. All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Doing a public preview of our world famous Power Hour, our daily market service, mentorship, price alerts, things of that nature. Market is dumping. I come in during market pops too, Mexican Charlie Lee. Just market doesn't pop anymore, and I'm blaming you for that. So it is what it is, my friend. So yeah, public version of the Power Hour. If you're interested, go to real-crypto.com, click on services, and then you can click on the button over here in my slow website. If you just want to join the Slack community and join a bunch of people trying to, pass back and forth tips on how to get hired at McDonald's, you can join the community for free right here. Click on the button, and there you go. Let's get on to the markets. Let me reset my chart, and we'll move on to what is an interesting weekend. Most of the time, the weekends are relatively benign. This one, a little bit of an abnormality in that regard. You've got Bitcoin undercutting some pretty darn important levels here. Yeah, well, Litecoin's screwed, Mexican Charlie Lee. So, yeah, Litecoin's been screwed. Yeah, we've highlighted the demise of Litecoin dramatically over the past several months during the show. That's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate. We actually were talking about it yesterday. We like Litecoin a lot. It's kind of garbage that there's not a lot of value in it, unfortunately. But Bitcoin breaking some pretty important levels. We've had quite a few alert levels. This 29049, I believe, is here. So it's this orange line on the 2-hour time frame. We're not dropping in amazing fashion on Bitcoin. The alts are really ripping the face off of everything, and it kind of looks like a flight to quality into Bitcoin, even as no one's buying Bitcoin, if that makes a lot of sense. So people are selling their alts, and you can see it in the BTC charts. And I do have a few BTC pairs later, but so the right side is my daily here, and you can see, look at all the just garbage action on coin after coin in terms of lots of selling pressure. We said a while back one of the probably best ways to make some extra Bitcoin in these environments is short anything versus Bitcoin, except for Ampleforth, because apparently that's in an uptrend. But most everything else has been going egregiously lower. Ethereum's even getting murdered today versus Bitcoin. We'll have that later. So yeah, we are headed lower, but the volume this is pretty heavy for weekend volume. I will have to say that. Not very normal volume. Volume's been around normal for the past week or so. Hey, what up, Monkeytron? Yeah, we are live. I figure market's going to hell in a handbasket, and I sell handbaskets. So there you go. Just noticed that we have 2 likes. If you guys want to hit the like button on the stream, that would be awesome. Thank you very much if you do that. If you don't, whatever. Yeah, so a little bit heavier volume here on the weekend. Usually, so here's our last weekend here. If you see the low volume, here's the last weekend here. Here's the last weekend here. And this was after the calamitous Luna drop, so that gets a pass. But you can see the past 3 weekends in a row during this consolidation, lower volume today. We're already we're on pace to be probably double the highest weekend candle, which is 3 Sundays ago. So not a good look here. In terms of our follow 3-day system, which is something that we use in the power hour, although not exclusively, but it's a nice market timing signature. Follow through day here really hasn't done anything at all. ETH capitulation, not even close, George. Not even close, bud. Yeah, in terms of distribution days, so 4 distribution days puts you into a correction or a straight break beneath this line here. I don't know if we have enough volume today to make it a distribution day, but it'll be I don't know about it. It'll be close. I guess we'll see what happens the rest of the day. We would have to have a nice break, which would go fight with this blue line, which would put us into an instant correction. So, but this whole situation, we had two opportunities to be bullish. We failed both of them, and now we're handily lower, undercutting a lot of important levels. This red dashed line, this is our low from earlier. I guess it was last year now. Geez, time flies. About a year ago, this was our low here on June 22nd. Here we are at June 11th, and we are right back down on it. You know, my price line's gone. I was doing some... Give me a second. Let me bring my price line back up. I missed my price line. There we go. Shoot. Okay. Whatever. That's fine. I'll take price line on the daily. Fall of crypto. Hey, what's up, Blay? Looks like I missed a few. Looks like I missed a few comments. Let me go check up here. This needs to be the power hour that marks the bottom in Ethereum, says B-Dubs. I'm not sure that's happening. Start getting very interesting in terms of entry points. Poor Litecoin became useless. I love it. What's wrong with Litecoin? You gotta love Litecoin. Litecoin's good. Batman says hit the like button. Hey, what's up, Batman? Always like in advance. No, will be awesome quality. What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're referring to. What's up, Dan the Gent? Recession 3.0. Why 3.0? It's always, recessions are always recession 1.0. They're always a little bit different. That's kind of funny. All right. But yeah, so Bitcoin down here, I don't like the action. Obviously, I do believe there is a bit of a flight to quality into Bitcoin. If you're in the cryptocurrency space, you obviously know Bitcoin is the least volatile crypto, even though it is still pretty darn volatile compared to traditional assets. It's the least volatile. Speaking of least volatile, gold is starting to get a little bit froggy. Look at gold's day on Friday. Look at that. That is a pocket pivot. That is brilliant. For those of you that were in the show yesterday, I did look into some of those options for the gold futures options. And at least on my exchange, I couldn't get anything past the end of this year. So I still have a lot more research to do on that front. But that's interesting. So, yeah, Bitcoin undercutting some levels, not in a bad way, although heavy weekend volume doesn't feel very good. But let's move along to the rest of the market, which is much more volatile and has a lot better trading opportunities, I think, than shorting Bitcoin. Ethereum, which has a great, I mean, it's already, I don't want to say past, but we could get a nice bounce back up on these levels. But Ethereum has already broken a very egregious level, and that is this yellow line here, the 1712 line. So Ethereum had some pretty nice support on this. Last year down here, we just looked at that at Bitcoin with 30K, and we're here on this dashed red line. So we're clearly underneath that. And some people, I've already mentioned ETH capitulation. This is not where capitulation lies. Capitulation, you don't get capitulation on the breakout. That's like looking for a topping signal in a bullish market on a breakout. While it's possible, it doesn't look very likely. And if this was a bullish chart, wouldn't you be all over this right now? This would just be an absolutely amazing bullish chart, but unfortunately, I just inverted the chart. We'll get rid of our inverted head and shoulders. We'll get rid of some of those. Let me go put it back to normal. And these are no longer relevant. And that was our last alert, so we'll keep that there. 1924. 1712 was a downside alert we had during the power hour. And obviously, that was broken yesterday or late yesterday. I'm not sure. I'm not sure when. Yeah, it looks like... Oh, that was during the show we broke. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about yesterday's show. Yeah. So we broke that line yesterday during the power hour. Kind of watched everything break, and then you have a bear flag. Look at this bear flag. I didn't notice it, but look at how tight that is. That is super tight. Volume dried up immediately. That is if you miss the break of this line and weren't comfortable shorting that, you should have been comfortable shorting this at 1 in the morning my time. That is a very concise bear flag. No buying pressure. look at the volume, just garbage. My volume aggregation tool, clearly sellers are stepping in. Even right now, there's no buyers in this market. Sellers are still high. These pluses on the volume aggregation tool are something called a pocket pivot. Won't go too much into those, but they imply large selling pressure. Greens would be positive pocket pivots, and geez, we don't have any going back. Looks like 6 days. There's some positive pocket pivots over here, but they're all negative. That's pretty egregious. Hey, what up, Farhan? Possibility of a short squeeze for Bitcoin in the coming months. Seems like everyone interested is shorting right now. In Bitcoin, I don't know. Bitcoin had opportunities to move up and failed to do that. It had an opportunity here, had an opportunity here. I don't know about a short squeeze. Now, we haven't fully collapsed in Bitcoin like we are in Ethereum right now. It's likely coming in the near future, to be quite frank with you. But in terms of a short squeeze, so let me answer that in a different way. What would you do with the short squeeze? Where would you enter the short squeeze? And where would you exit the short squeeze? Just to say there's a possibility of a short squeeze, you could say that on any Thursday at 4 p.m. Like it doesn't tell you anything. There's always a possibility of a short squeeze. There's always a possibility of a drop. So ask a better question. I mean, I don't want to be rude with you at all, but I want to be very frank with you. That's the wrong question. So it's not going to do you any good even getting an answer to that. The short answer is yes. If your time frame is a couple of months out, like this could have been considered a short squeeze. So that could have met the criteria for a short squeeze. Did that do you any good? Knowing it up here at 37,000 that in 2 months' time there'd be a short squeeze? No, it doesn't do you any good. So it's the wrong question to ask. So it's just that's just the reality of the situation. I'm not trying to be mean, but I just want to be clear, I guess is the right way to say that. Hey, what up, PJ? Yeah, for sure, bud. So this is a preview of our power hour. It's a public power hour. If you go to real-crypto.com, click on services, you'll see the power hour up there. We do this every day, and we do mentorship, kind of like yelling at I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. The two. I'm just going to call you the two. Just make sure we're asking the right questions, making sure we're thinking of our portfolios in the right way, and making wise decisions. We also do have alerts, which can be used as entries and exits as long as you have a plan built around them. And whatever else you guys want to use the time for. But we're here 7 days a week, barring vacations and kid stuff. So if you're interested in that, definitely join the show. If you're down substantial percentages at this point, join the damn show, because we'll help you out the best way we can to alleviate a lot of that stress. I've had a lot of people recently join the show, and good successes. We put stop losses on some positions. Sometimes they follow them, sometimes they don't, but that's what you have to do in these situations to avoid what we're in the middle of right now, essentially, which is a large dropping market. So if you're doing it by yourself and you're struggling, don't do it by yourself. Do it with us. All right. Back to Ethereum. So Ethereum here, breaking a very, very important level, this 1712. I really can't stress how important it is. This was a very important level, and the way we broke it was not encouraging. We did give it opportunities. You can see the last alert level we had here was at the 1924.51. The one prior to that, I don't think we had one here. I think it was up here a little more. We may have moved it down. I know we had an inverted head and shoulders here. So we may have had one in here, but it never really came close. A couple of small longs were possible, but they gave it up very quickly, likely with relatively light losses, unless you're still holding on to a long, which would not be good. But Ethereum, look at it on the way down again, elevated selling volume, and this is not a good look for this market. There is a larger head and shoulders with Ethereum, with a measure move down to about 1,000 right there. So if you're looking at when to buy Ethereum, you could be looking at 1,000. And I'll be quite honest with you, if you are looking to purchase something in the future when the market gets lower, if you have cash available, Farhan says, pound the like button. I agree. Also, comments. YouTube likes comments too, so say something positive about me down in the comments. I don't know if YouTube does comments with what is in the comments. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, ETH 999 sale price for Ethereum. That's what Farhan wants. He wants the sale price. But yeah, that's basically where we get down to is near that level. Could we go past that? Absolutely, we could. If you remember back in 2018, 2017 when we topped. Was it 2018 or 17 when we topped? Yeah, early 2018. We got all the way down, 93% drop to $82, and that I mean, what would it say? 92. I don't think we're gonna drop that far. 94%. I don't think we'll go that far, but that would take us. I was thinking about that down near these lows over here at about the 350 level. So is that possible? Anything's possible at this stage of the game. It's too early to tell, which is why you have to, understand kind of how to read these trends. If you guys remember, if you were here back in 2018, 2019, following all of these trends is I mean, something that's really important to do. Knowing how to do it effectively and in a measured fashion is pretty darn important. So if you don't know how to do that, that's what we do every day. So another reason to join the show. But we are still pretty early in this. Even if we get down to $1,000, that's still 33% lower. That's still pretty early. That's still pretty early. And then if we get down there, what does the market look like down there? Are we going to be stable down there? Are we going to, have more bearish action? Is it, a real capitulation? Is it just garbage chop? That's, those are the situations that we're going to find ourselves in here in the next couple of months. All right, next up is Hex. Still talking about Hex, and Hex is still moving lower underneath its trend line, and much ado about the same. Measured move down to the 3-cent level. We are at 4 cents right now, and it doesn't look like we're going to not get down there. It looks like we're headed down in that direction. BNB. BNB took it on the chin, probably around that same 1 o'clock time frame. Yes, indeed. There it is. So did try to break up the other day, failed at 295 during the show. Mentioned that was likely a good shorting opportunity and a good stop loss at the top of that candle. And that would do the body good right now. You hold that short for a while, as a matter of fact. Right now, actually, BNB's down quite a bit. It's usually not down this much. BNB's one of the more least volatile cryptos, if that's a really bad way of saying what I want to infer there. It's usually one of the least volatile cryptos. That's a better way to put it. But today it's almost 7%. It's outperforming XRP to the downside, which is rare, and Tron to the downside, which Tron's still pretty elevated. That could be a good short, but your better stop loss is pretty much out of the ballpark up here at 12.5%. Hard to get involved up there. Maybe a low volume rally at some point could get you interested in a short. But BNB has held up relatively well, so I don't know if it's one you necessarily have to think about shorting. There's a lot of other better percentage shorts likely in the market. XRP finishing its rollover from yesterday's bear flag, and it looks like measured move is all but complete. So we're just kind of still now stuck in no man's land. XRP's broken a lot of long-term trend lines. 35 cents hasn't been seen for a while, and we're likely to see lower in everything, XRP included. Solana, everyone's new coin to love to hate, was the golden child of the industry and gave it up here and really hasn't been able to get it back. Had one really nice rally there, which, Aram, one of our members, had a great epic sell up here. Just a tremendous selling job that he did up there. But right now we're undercutting lows. This is not what you want to see. We just talked about a 95% drop in Ethereum. We'll probably do that in Solana, which would put you down towards $12 level. Who knows how low it's going to go, depending if they still have network issues, because keep in mind Solana has had network issues recently. If it continues to have network issues, you could maybe assume potentially even some lower prices. I'm not saying Solana is the new Ethereum, but you know, ETH got all the way back down to some pretty rarefied levels. Here's Coinbase. Solana 9.99. Yes, sir. Right, Farhan? That's awesome. So you can see here, if you're viewing, if you want to view a Solana, is maybe the next. I mean, because if Solana can get their network situation straightened out, you're doing 400,000 transactions per second. You can do some good work on that network. So I'm still hopeful for Solana. But if you look at this situation, like Ethereum had a crazy rally, just like Solana did. And then, you know, we just talked about this thing dropped down 94, 95%. But look at how far above it is off the lows. If you look at Solana, I think, you know, $13 looks pretty darn similar. And then going back up to 240, you know, maybe it'll do like it did and escape that and get up there towards, you know, $1,000 in the next upcoming bull cycle, whenever that is. So when we get down to those rarefied low spaces, I don't think you can, you know, we've already seen this rinse repeat a couple times in these large macro cycles. I think you got to be fairly aggressive this next time around. And yeah, I mean, geez, Monkeytron and Mike better be yelling at us when to buy down there. All right, next up is Cardano. Cardano had a shot. Cardano was bullish. Cardano was trying to do it. Cardano couldn't do it. Couldn't hold the market up all by itself. 6685 alert level. We had one here which was broken a little bit. We moved it up to 6685 and rolling over. Unfortunately, volumes not too bad. It's actually one of our better performing cryptos today. Bitcoin's down 3%. This is down 4%, 4 and a quarter, which isn't too bad. Tron's down a little less than that. So those are kind of your leading cryptos right now. I think at some point Cardano is going to be a really good investment as well. But recently it's been doing its own thing, but the market forces today are just too strong. If you're looking to short, your good stop is up here, which right now is a little bit deep at 13%. But a low volume rally or something subsequent like that would be good. Yeah, we'll see what happens this upcoming week with it, but see you later. Next up is Doge, which is doing what Doge should be doing, which is dropping a great amount, 8.86%. It was not doing too much here. We noted how low the volume was, how much it wasn't interested in the rallies. And yeah, working with that, moving lower, breaking that symmetrical triangle. Measured move on Doge is, we have a lot of old alert levels on here. A lot of old stuff. I would argue Doge, Shiba, CRO. Those are coins I've been hating on for a long time now. You know what? I'm going to take this full-blown measured move here. And, whoops. I'll just get rid of it. Whatever. 3 cents from 7 cents, and we are at almost 7 cents. So that's your measured move for Doge. 50. Wow, that's 54%. Jeez, that's crazy. So 54% for Doge. And Doge is basically blown away almost everything. It's got that trend line to go, which would take it down even further. And that would be very, very long-term support for Doge. But yeah, a long way to go there. I think, like I said, Doge and Shiba are very, very likely going to be some good performers. We mentioned yesterday how they weren't doing very hot, but today they are outperforming. Both of them are in the upper echelons of price percentage drop today. AVAX looks like it's actually leading us to the downside here right now. Another one with a type of symmetry, although more of an inverted head and shoulders. We had the alert here at 26.25, didn't do that. Rolled over through the line here yesterday. Everything rolled over at about the same time during the show yesterday. Bear flagged out, and a higher volume move lower today implies further downside action. AVAX held up better later than did Solana, but I don't know. I think AVAX is seen as the worst version of Solana. I don't know for sure. They are different chains. I like them, you know, in their own way from those perspectives. But right now, they're not interested in any layer ones. They're the more aggressive ones down today. Yeah, so that's also really big stop loss on a short. But so far, it looks like the market wants to continue this trend. We're not interested in rebounding at all. We've had plenty of chance to do that. Just ain't happening. DOT, similar situation. Rinse and repeat with these symmetrical triangles down here. So we essentially had symmetrical triangle coins and inverted head and shoulders coins, and then Uniswap had a rising channel, which turned into a sideways channel. And they all look like garbage. Shiba Swap, very similar to Dogecoin. Kind of H'ing over here a little bit. There's the little bear flag. Boom. Moved lower with the market. Buy or wait right now, Blah? Short? This is more of a shortable environment than a buyable environment. But it's not wise to short right now because we're down so large in terms of percentages. Yesterday or earlier today on the bear flag breakdown would have been the good short. That would have been the good short. Yesterday during the show when Ethereum broke levels, when Bitcoin broke levels, that was the ample time to short. And that was during the show yesterday. So we don't always get it, selling off during the show, obviously, but those are your better times, in my opinion. Right now, when we're down, we're having big down days like this. If you're looking to short, what's going to happen is those stop losses I was recently just talking about drawing up like this. Those are all in the 12 to 15% range. That's way too wide for a nice tight stop. Ideally, you'd like to be less than 8% for any singular position. And these are out of that marker. So if it's something you really have to take, what you have to do is make your position size smaller, and then you can have a wise stop loss. Because your stop loss should be placed on the chart. It shouldn't be based on profit or loss of your account. But you have to make your maximum stop loss match what's on the chart. You do that by reducing position size, is how you manage that. So in this situation, what's interesting about here, though, is we easily could continue down drastically lower. We just kind of started a cascade, using Ethereum as an example here. We just started this cascade below this very important level. Oh, darn it, I'm stuck on the weekly. We could rally back and fail this, Come on, man. Which is a 10% rally. And you would want to short on a low volume rally like that. Okay, when we get those situations, low volume rallies are shortable, and that's kind of what we may get, if not just a complete cascade lower. Because you can see here we had this, and Bitcoin's a better example with this rising channel, and then once we broke, we never really looked back. We could be starting that again. So buying right now is not advantageous. Shorting right now could work, but you still have to be manageable with your stop losses. So it's harder right now because we're already down. All right, next up is Tron. And Tron was holding up really, really well. Broke down yesterday a little bit. There's the bear flag, and then broke down again. So Tron actually isn't down substantially, oddly enough. It's still holding up relatively good. I would argue on CoinMarketCap it maybe have made a couple more places. I think it was at 13 or 15 the other day. Oh, still at 13. So a little bit ways to go till it catches Polkadot. Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll do that, but wrap Bitcoin doesn't count. In all honesty, I wish they would take stable coins and these kind of wrapped coins out of the equation. Like, why would you have a stable coin in the top 20? It doesn't make any damn sense. Like, your Tether's not a tradable asset, so USDC, not a tradable asset. BUSD, not a tradable asset. You're going to get rid of a third of the top 20 by doing that. It's probably a wise thing. But so Tron up here, it may be beneficial if you're looking to short. So when you're looking to short, I like to find things that are the most bearish and the most garbage to short. Those are the best shorts. Sometimes things that are holding up can be good shorts as well. This could be put into that category, but it does have some relative strength, which makes it a little bit trickier. But it is making lower lows. We just got to see a little bit more selling action. Another leg would likely break Tron, and you'd move lower to this trend line and then likely beyond if the market was continuing at that time. But up here, it's interesting. Obviously, your stop loss is more manageable. I just mentioned 8%. That's at 6.5 to 7%. That's definitely a manageable stop loss for, potentially. I mean, that's 20%, which gets us down to these levels here. Not too bad. Yeah, ADA and yeah, let me write those down. I do these in order, guys. I do the top 20 USD during the power hour, the top 20 USD, and then I do the altcoins and stuff. So let me make a note of those. We're not too far away from those. VET. Yeah, we haven't looked at VeChain in a while. Okay, Near Protocol. Near just hammered lower. We mentioned how weak this was yesterday. Yesterday when we were doing the show, this was already in new lows. So 9.16%, good performer to the downside. This thing likely also have a full-blown retracement, just a very full-blown retracement on Matic or Near. Matic likely too, but all these kind of ones. This cycle's been interesting because a lot of these held up really well and did have some actual realistic value to them, which is pretty good. Yeah, right, Loopy. Fair enough. All right, next up is Matic. Matic did break down from its symmetrical triangle. Yesterday was playing with the trend line, then a nice break also at 1 o'clock. Yeah, Litecoin's next. Litecoin's next. Once again, 9% Matic is likely to have. So that's a 13%. Yeah, I'd probably say 13% stop loss. So that would have to be 3/4 to a half position, depending on what that math works out. But it hasn't broken down yet. If you take a look at the bigger charts, it's just looks like it's just a matter of time. What up? It's the garden farmer. He's farming gardens. All right, now is Litecoin. Sorry, there's water break right there for me. Little power hour. There are no little power hours, okay? Let's get it straight. There's no little power hours. There's so much power wrapped in the hour. I'm trying to think of something else to rhyme with. Trying to think of something else. There's so much power wrapped in the hour. Go grow your flower. I should have been a rapper. I missed my calling. Litecoin. Okay, so yeah, so Litecoin with not a lot of good action. It's generally been kind of atrocious, to be quite frank with you. Litecoin had a couple. I mean, just look at this on the daily time frame. Let's just go big picture. Like, what about this says good? Like nothing, absolutely nothing. Hey, I'm great. Raul, Ronald, Galia. I'm fantastic at rhyming things together that sound alike. Anyway, too much fun. Like, what about this? Says good. It had a couple up. You know what this looks like right here? This looks like the 6K drop. Right here. Just a lower lows, substantially, very flat. This was a pretty long period of time, too. I didn't realize that till right now. January until May. That's about 5 months. That looks very, very similar to that drop. Now that I'm zoomed in on it. I usually don't go... By the time we get to Litecoin, it's usually acting like garbage. We don't spend too much time on Litecoin. But the only thing to save Litecoin at this time is this trend line and this measured move. But that's way down here at about a 50% clip almost. So, I mean, it is not very good. And then if you look at Litecoin, and we talked about this, may have been during the last stream that we did. If you look at Litecoin, it's ranked number 20 now. I mean, if you go back in the day, I mean, it was, I don't even know if we have to actually do it or not, but if you go back in the day, Litecoin was easily in the top 10. Historical snap. There we go. Forgot where it was. Let's just go to 2019. Let's pick here you go, May 5th. Let's see where Litecoin is in that. Number 5. Litecoin number 5. Bitcoin's still number 1. ETH is still number 2. XRP is still in the conversation. It just has some stable coins in front of it. But Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, gone. Absolutely gone. Litecoin, gone. EOS, gone. Binance Coin's risen in prevalence. Stellar, gone. Cardano hanging out there. Tron's even hanging out. That's strange. Monero gone. So you can just clearly see, and this isn't May of 2019. This isn't a particularly great time. I think, I don't know. We had a couple of decent runs in there, but so I mean, Litecoin down at number 20. And I like Litecoin. I got nothing bad to say about Litecoin. Nothing bad to say about Litecoin. It, fundamentally in terms of its network and what it does, I've never heard a bad thing about it. Bitcoin's always been stable. Litecoin's always been stable. Dash, which is another fork, which is also gone. Here was number 13. That was always stable. Monero, fork of Bitcoin. That's all these have been stable networks. But the problem is that they're only valuing Bitcoin. They're viewing them as they're just valuing Bitcoin. None of these other ones are even close. None of these are even close. Stellar gone? What do you mean, come on? Come on yourself. What are you talking about? See, I don't even know their damn symbol anymore. X. What is there? XLM, number 24. Oh, it rose up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. But from what we just looked at, being a number 24, I guess it's back a little bit. It was a lot lower. Yeah, it was a lot lower than that. So I'll give them credit for being at number 24. Absolutely. But they were number 9 in May of 2019. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Stellar's chart, just so we can see accumulating. That's funny. All right, let's take a look at this lovely all-time chart. Let's see how relevant Stellar is. Okay, so 2017, in reality, pre-2017, it is what it is. You got to look post-2017. So let's take a look at this all-time high for this great asset called Stellar. I can't quite get up there. It looks like 90 cents, and then went to an all-new time high of less than 90 cents. And then it went to, so currently it looks like it's at 12 cents. So hold on, let me crunch the math on this great performing asset. Good thing I'm not good at math, because there's none needed. All you gotta do is look at the chart. So my general point is just to understand reality. That's the general point here. Is you have to understand the reality of the situation you're in and the coin you're holding. We all have our favorite coins. I've got some favorite coins. You've got some favorite coins. You get a favorite coin. You get a favorite coin. But guess what? If it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum, it's basically irrelevant. It's essentially irrelevant. Some of you fell in love with Solana early. Some of you fell in love with Aave, or what used to be Lend, early. Some of you fell in with Cardano earlier. Cardano's been performing over many market cycles, but you're going to have these moments of brilliance. But when you find yourself holding assets that are down substantial percentages, that's when you're in it for the tech. It's a little bit like it's a little bit about what turns people into investors. Losses turn people into investors. A lot of people don't invest because of good fundamental reasons at low levels and do a lot of research. They end up being investors because they're down 85%. And Mexican Charlie Lee is proving my point here. I've been holding for 5 years. It's pointless to sell at these prices. That is what makes you an investor in Litecoin. It's just a reality of the situation. So, and it's not bad to be an investor. I'm not making fun of investors if you do it in the right way, if you understand what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I preach consistently, is I don't teach you guys how to be like me. I've got my own flaws, and some of them are pretty darn glaring. But the people that do what they do and do it well, do well. And that's it. So I can't do what you do. You can't do what I do. I try to teach you to do what you do. Okay? With, obviously I'm me and I give my spin on the market, but yeah, if anybody needs help with that, that's what I do. So we'll look at dominance. We'll look at derivatives in a little bit later, probably after the wrap up. I've been holding. I need to learn how to short and stop hodling. So what it comes down to, Charlie Lee, is understanding what you want to do and why you want to do it, and where is your exit point. That's what you have to understand, is where is the exit point? What is your overall strategy? I preach it time and time again, and that's what you have to build. You have to build a strategy, and that stops these things from happening. So if you take Litecoin as an example, yeah, well, Litecoin never followed through. One thing that we noted through the entire cycle was Litecoin's lack of leadership. The fact that I mean, I'm sure we had alerts on Litecoin. I could probably, maybe point to a few places on a chart and look up some newsletters that we did, but overall, its lack of leadership was astounding, and it was loud. It was absolutely loud, and yeah. So here's the other thing too: is big price targets like $1,000. It's nonsensical. You can't base a like. Can you give me a basis for the target of 1,000? It's going to be very difficult to do that, um, because is it just a big round number? I mean, so even if it hits 1,000, do you sell there? What if it only gets to 900? Do you hold? What if it goes from 900 to 700 to 600 to 500? Like, when do you get out? All of these things, as my computer glitches there, that's weird. Need to be understood. They all need to be understood. So yeah, I mean, it did miss the whole bull run, and that's a problem for Litecoin. And I like Litecoin, but it's a problem for Litecoin. I mean, look at this chart. It looks a lot like XLMs, doesn't it? It looks a lot like XLMs. Versus you look at the Ethereum chart, you want to find an asset that performs. It's down a bunch right now too, but that was 2017. That's an outperformance. Not many did this. Not many did this. And that's a lot of the assets that are going through this cycle are going to do something like what Litecoin and just what XLM, those things we just saw. That's what's going to happen. Is that exact thing. We're going to see things we just saw things go up. We're going to see things come down. They're going to go back up, but maybe not quite to the level, maybe a little bit past it, but everyone's going to look for them to double again. People are going to be calling for, Ethereum 10,000. Will it do it? Maybe. We'll see. We'll kind of see how the market, fuds itself out, but it's going to take a while. It could take a while for things to kind of, wear themselves out and kind of get back to normal. But the question is, are you going to be around when it happens? And whether that means you're holding through the whole thing or you're going cash and waiting for the whole thing. Either way, if you're holding it, you're going to have a little bit more pain to live through. If you're cash, you're going to have the diligence to follow through with whatever plan you want to put in place. High in 2017 was 431K, would have been only a bit over 2x. Many other top alts did way more than that. 1K felt you were conservative. Okay, well, that's fair. I'll give you that. Okay, yeah, I'm not mad at that. There's some logic to that. Some people just say, I don't know, it sounds good. But I don't think expecting an altcoin to do 2x what it did is necessarily that bad. So yeah, I'm not going to give you too much grief over that. Now, if you came to me with XLM and said that, I would have given you some grief. But no, I was surprised Litecoin didn't really exceed its prior high substantially. That was interesting. Litecoin $9.99, $19.99. We're going for sale prices. Oh, Ben's calling people losers. Obviously, he knows exactly what he's talking about. Why am I even talking? Just everyone go talk to Ben. He knows exactly what's going to happen. Let's go back to TradingView. Much better charts. $19.99. We could. It's possible. That's dangerous territory, though. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I don't like $19.99 for Litecoin. If Litecoin gets to $19.99, first of all, Ben's broke. Second of all, yeah, that's murder in this chart. Yeah, that kills this chart. I mean, it better be one wick. It better be rip your face off day, throw it in the street and stomp on it day, because that's $29.99. Okay, I'll give you $29.99. That would be pretty good. Possibly the worst stream on YouTube. Well, you don't have to stream if you don't want to, Ben. You can stay with mine. That's fine. That's cool. Ben's calling himself out as the worst stream on YouTube. All right, next up is CRL. Let's move away from Litecoin. But yeah, so CRL, part of my garbage crew, if you want to call it that. CRL, lots more room to go. I can't alert on this coin, but broke down from the symmetrical triangle, likely to continue down substantially from here. Next up is Uniswap. And Uniswap, so we had this with a couple different patterns. I think it just moved into a horizontal right now. And yeah, moving lower here, substantially lower, and it's going to do what it's going to do. Breaking volume's not that heavy, but it's not a good sign. I mean, the whole market's moving lower, and so, you know, you have to include Uniswap in that at this moment in time. Oh, VeChain. Yeah, I got VeChain. It's on my list here. Like I said, I kind of do them in order. It's just to keep the show concise. Otherwise, it just gets out of hand sometimes. We can just jump all over the place and never finish our stuff, which is not necessarily a good sign. So, all right, give me a second here, and we'll move on from. Okay, look at some comments here. Look at your altcoin versus BTC, and you know it's performing good or not. ADA versus BTC perform good. 1999, I'll sell my 67 Camaro and load up. Oh, geez. You are way too in love with your coin there, Mexican Charlie Lee. Little bit, way too in love. All right. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and look at those two ones. So we had ADA, Ethereum, and then we had ETH or VeChain. Sorry, I'm not sure if I've done ADA Ethereum in a while. I mean, years, if ever. I don't know. Not a chart. We don't look at too many charts versus Ethereum here. Looks like a very clear support. This goes back a ways, doesn't it? That's pretty cool. Let's get rid of that anomaly. And definitely support. We got down pretty close to it this time around, trying to go back up. Cardano itself, like we mentioned earlier, not down that much today. And Ethereum is down substantially. So, yeah, definitely a nice rally. It looks like we had a bull flag here. We did look at it once. That was a pennant that never worked. Of course, there's a stalling candle. That makes some sense. We're getting back up to the level. So this almost implies that, yeah, we'll see if we're able to get above that. Other than that, this is a resistance level. But I'm not sure exactly how liquid this is. If you were to look at Cardano in terms of liquidity on each pair, let's see what the ADA ETH is going to be like, ranked number 13th or something, maybe more than that. Number 12. Oh, damn, I was almost dead on. Look at that, number 12. That's pretty good. So 0.33%. So not a lot of liquidity. I don't know if you want to take really too many signals. I guess it depends what you want to do. If you're trying to get more Ethereum, obviously this is if you're trying to get more Ethereum and you're using Cardano as the vehicle to do that, then obviously this is a chart that you want to be informed on. It's looking pretty good. You can't be too mad at what it's doing. It is rising relative. But in the bigger picture, like, is this gonna do it for you? I did it for you right there. In a tape in an environment like this, I think it's gonna be difficult to try to make great decisions based on a chart like this, because when you have two volatile assets and you plot them against each other, the charts don't make a lot of sense. The reason that charts work is because it uses accumulation and distribution, and you can kind of ascertain what's happening with the market participants. When you're trading something like this, it's a third tier market at best, ranked number 12 in terms of its liquidity, only 0.33. It's very it's very difficult to get a really good market read and try to say, oh yeah, it's being accumulated. You're strictly trading on price action from one to the other. I would probably rather trade a USD chart, and if you want to get ETH, and just buy ETH with any profits you get. That's my current, that would be my, it's going to be tough because, you know, look at this going back to 2018. You're flat. This whole chart is just chop, and it's very hard to trade chop. So I would actually assume it's probably bad to trade this chart. This isn't a chart that's going to give you like a 10x. It's, barring calamitous action from Ethereum or Cardano suddenly becoming number two. This chart isn't going to give you. This isn't going to give you anything substantial. This is like 4.5 years of price action right here, and you're basically flat. So I don't think there's a point in even really looking at this asset. I'd rather look at the Cardano USD chart and try to make a directional decision around here, which is pretty clear. What do you think? Even Bitcoin Cashes are even used to this coin anymore? I guess for trading. What are you trying to do with it, Elias? When it comes, Bitcoin Cash is down in the dumps. It's been down in the dumps. I think we looked at it. Where was Bitcoin Cash on here? It's gone the way of Litecoin. It's gone the way of a lot of these older coins. There's more relevant coins that have come to light. Yeah, so there's Bitcoin Cash, not too far away. Litecoin is right there at number 20, 25. Monero's in the mix right there as well. They're kind of coins of a bygone era, if you will. People trying to fork Bitcoin for whatever reason. They don't have a lot of intrinsic value, which is not a lot of cryptos even have intrinsic value. People use it for transactions, but it's not going to be a wealth store in the same way that Bitcoin's going to be. They're not using it in that fashion. So I just use it as a trading vehicle like anything else. So if you see a pattern like this breakdown right here, or even the reversal on this head and shoulders pattern, which didn't work out. These are tradable events. This is a tradable asset, but it's probably not an asset you want to stick your life savings into and think it's gonna, come back to crazy heights in the future. I don't think it's not gonna do that. All right, next up is VeChain. And VeChain, VeChain, another kind of a dead coin. Where's VeChain in the mix these days? Number 32. So it's still around, but it's ranked number 32. There's obviously VeChain, if I believe right, it's a layer 1. We don't really look at it a lot anymore, but just want to get my facts straight. It should be a layer 1. Yeah, platform token. Okay. So it's a layer 1, rank 32. But if you look at it in terms of ranking, there's lots of other layer 1s to be involved with the better quality that are in the top 20. That's pretty far away. Price action wise, it's in a bear flag breaking down, pretty much like everything else. Inability to rise here. You can probably take a measured move here on VeChain. Depending on where you want to call the breakdown point. Probably do that. You're looking at from 3 cents to under 1.5 cents. So that's a 55% decline out of a bear flag, kind of a measured move. I could be really aggressive and go all the way up here, but yeah, it looks like it could try to hit that. Yeah, we can do it just for fun. Give or take, that's about right. And that would be about 66%, something like that. Hey, what's up, Maurice? Greetings from the Netherlands. Well, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hit the like button while you're at it. But yeah, for sure. Speaking of thanks, yeah, we are watching a public power hour. This is the show that I do every single day. It's a service that I offer, real-crypto.com. Click on services. You can find it in there, or you can join our Slack community for free if you want to hear about our McDonald's application stories, as we're all broke now. Everyone's broke now. Should you buy Bitcoin now? I'm not buying Bitcoin now, Wayne. I am not buying Bitcoin now, so definitely personally wouldn't be advising people to purchase Bitcoin right now. It's not what I'd be doing. We are, altcoins are breaking down and Bitcoin is holding up. It is possible it can hold up in this area, but it would be a pretty astronomical feat if it did. So I think further downside action is probably likely in the cards. All right, let's move on to BTC pairs. I only had 3 to talk about today. McDonald's not hiring anyone ever traded crypto. Come on, man. Where do you think all their applicants are coming from? All right, so Cardano versus BTC. We mentioned earlier versus USD that Cardano actually holding its own pretty good, but the last time that we had a bullish situation on Cardano and it didn't work out, we did end up just going pretty much straight down as the market looks to be headed in that direction. You're on the precipice here of a potential short. Your stop loss here, manageable, 8%. Right there would be the stop loss for a Cardano BTC trade if you're interested in that one. This one has yet to break down. A lot of these charts have already broke down. A few are holding up pretty good, oddly enough. That probably will get worse over time. We can look at a few of those a little bit later if you'd like. I'll just go through overall all the charts. I don't feel like pointing all of them out. Next up is Ethereum, which I just passed. And this chart, a little bit worse for wear. Getting a nice bounce back right now, though. That's not horrible action. But on the daily, it's not looking that good. So there's a measured move right there from a larger head and shoulders pattern. Probably get rid of this range now. Clear the chart up just a little bit. So that trend line was broken. Formed a head and shoulders. Measured move all the way down here to the 47 level. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. 47,000. I think there's even an extra 0 back there. So it'd be 470,000 Satoshis, whatever the case it may be. And that also puts us pretty much on top of this supportive peak right there. Looks like from early last year. So a good possibility there for Ethereum to go to. But higher volume selling pressure, our volume aggregation tool, which is something we use a lot during the power hour. Showing a lot of negative pocket pivots. You can clearly see on the chart. Lots of selling pressure around. Buying pressure consistently low. Pretty darn low here for the most part. It is a weekend, so maybe we'll go sideways for a little bit. And we'll see what we end up with tomorrow. But not a good look. Not a good look at all. We broke down from this pennant. Broke down from the head and shoulders pattern. If you're looking at shorting, those were head and shoulders breakdown would have been the better opportunity. You would have had to be a little patient, but any reasonable stop loss would not have gotten triggered, and now we are firmly lower from that, about 20%. Only 20%, huh? It's not too bad. Again, this is also two volatile assets, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So I don't trade on any. I pretty much don't trade anything versus Bitcoin. I have on a couple of occasions when I saw some charts I thought were extraneous, but I usually just trade them against the US dollar. It's easier. All right, next one up is one I don't usually look at, but I thought was interesting. It was UNFI, UNFI. I actually want to look into this one a little bit. I want to know why the hell it popped so darn substantially. Look at that move up. But one thing that a pop-up like that gives you is a pretty darn good target for a potential short when the market looks like garbage. So barring any substantially bullish event for this particular coin, likely a pretty darn good shorting opportunity. We didn't highlight it the other day when it happened, but right now with the markets rolling over and it... come on, man. Going sideways for the past couple of days, you have a reasonable stop loss. What? That's 40%? Oh my gosh. What the hell was this move up? Wow, 1,100%. Told you I barely look at this coin. Geez, that is a move up. Why the hell? Look at that bull flag too. That was nice. Very, very nice. That was a cup and handle. Interesting. What's that drop then? 52% down to the lows. So, that is 40% or 25%. Okay, that's a little better. 22%. That's really, really wide. I didn't think it was going to be that wide. My goodness. This is crazy. All right, so Unfee's probably a little bit too volatile for most normal traders. You've really got to be on your game to trade something like that. Let's see what happened with Unfee. What was going on there? Maybe it's just maybe it's nothing. It was just a pump and dump. Uniswap. You think it's Uniswap Finance or Unify Protocol DAO? I'm gonna guess Unify Protocol DAO. Yep. All right. Unify Protocol DAO. 57% against Tether. Let's look at the all-time chart. Huge spike. Look at the volume. Ah. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Sustainable blockchain technology is coming. Is it though? Why sustain? Oh, this is a piece of garbage. When you're touting sustainability, you're a piece of garbage. You should have other things. If you want to list sustainability, it can definitely be a bullet point, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the thing. I don't see news. Governance, join the DAO. I can't do this because Unify will bring up Ubiquity. Yeah. Huh. I'm not sure we're going to find any good news there. Let's try crypto. Let's see what this guy says. ADA and H-bar. Huh. Oh, sorry, Dave. Missed your comment there, bud. Dollar cost averaging. Cardano and Bitcoin figure someday when I'm too old to enjoy, I'll be what's that word? Vulgarly wealthy. Vulgarly wealthy. I like that. That's very interesting. Hi, Ethan. What you got, bud? Sugar. You made sugar? What is that?
Cinnamon roll pancake.
Cinnamon roll pancake? This is my son Ethan. Sure, I'm doing my show. Ethan, say hi to everybody. Okay, I have to eat this. Don't know if I want that to eat a whole one.
Put you in the bathroom for a while.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's yummy. You're right, it is all sugar, isn't it? Holy crap. Wow. Ethan, Farhan says hello. Farhan said hi on the stream here. Wow, that is a lot of sugar. Holy crap. I think I feel my tooth disintegrating as I'm eating it. They made a cinnamon roll pancake. Very interesting. Okay. Sorry, I got bombarded by my family there, which is all good. Evergrow coin. That's not. Unified DAO is rocketing 238. DeFi project. You want some? All right. Yeah, we'll keep some for you. I'll put it outside for you. Just grab it when you come over. So not much going on here. They do talk about the Unify protocol, but it's not dramatic. Not dramatic news. Looks like maybe someone buying ahead of a bigger news event. But look at the selling pressure up here. The day after, volume aggregation tool shows very clear selling pressure. The green is the buying pressure. The red is the selling pressure. If that wasn't inferred, I hope it's inferred. Yeah. Very interesting though. Unified DAO. I didn't realize that was that substantial. That's a lot. Okay. All right, that was all I had. Let's take a look at derivatives. And if anyone has any questions, speak an hour, forever hold your peace. And then we're going to bounce. Someone did mention derivative. I think was it dominance somebody was discussing? Oh, there's Bitcoin dominance. So, where's my note? Up is bad. Unless it's a Bitcoin only rally, which this is not a Bitcoin only rally. So up is bad on dominance. If we have a full-blown breakout on this is going to be a full-blown bearish market. And yeah, Hopefully you guys know how to deal with that one. U.S. Tether dominance up is bad. Is sitting in a bull flag above a cup and handle base. This is a cup and handle in Tether dominance. You know, you never know how these things are going to work out in some of these derivative charts, but so far it's working out exactly as you would expect. And this is looking like it's ready for another leg up, which means another leg down for crypto. USDC dominance, which someone asked us to track it. And I think that there is a little bit of FUD going on with Tether. You can see the Tether dominance has actually been reduced compared to USDC. So that would imply that USDC is taking some market share from Tether. And is it due to the illiquidity of Tether's books or what it is? But still quite a bit of ways to go. About a 50% increase for USDC to overtake Tether in terms of its market cap. But that's interesting to note. And look at the 24-hour chart here. The difference in Tether going down and USDC going up. So I don't know. If Tether collapses, this market is I want to say a curse word for a very long period of time. Effed, something like that. So if Tether goes down, I know a lot of people are worried about that with Luna, but people have been worried about Tether since it started in 2011, whenever the hell it started. It started a long time ago. 2015. Tether's been around for a while. You may not realize it, but it's been around for a long time. So it's done its job that entire time. It's obviously had moments of instability, but recently, I mean, looking at this historical chart, you can't be too mad. It kind of looks like one of my speaker. I'm making speaker cabinets right now, and it looks like one of my measurements that I take. It looks like impulse, and impulse is dying off right here. So definitely a lot more stability recently for whatever reason. I haven't really kept up with a lot of the tech with Tether, but that's interesting to note that USDC dominance is increasing, or USD Tether dominance, while increasing, is not increasing at the same pace. We take a look at CME futures for Bitcoin. Likely going to have a gap at this pace. 2008 920, we're at 2008 5. Not a big gap so far, but a little bit of a gap. We'll see where we end up by the end of the day. Fear and greed, as of late, has been on the floor. It can't get off of the floor. Astronomically low for a very extended period of time. You can almost read this as bullish, but it's definitely not. We don't have a lot of data when it comes to fear and greed. It's not the worst indicator in the world. Like, we don't have 2017 in here. It starts February of 2018. So that's a bit of an issue for trying to get some historical data going back. But it's being down this low, I don't think is good. Not with what we're doing with the price action. So Bitcoin still has yet to fully break down, but living at lows like this, not a good sign. It's going to take some action to get us back up, but derivatives not painting a great picture. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. All right, so let's wrap up. This is a public version of the Power Hour. If you are interested in the Power Hour, go to real-crypto.com. You can click on services over here. I'll do this real quick. I kind of have to, otherwise, why do I do this? Crypto Power Hour with the show. We get daily newsletters with charts and annotations. The live stream, which you just kind of went through, in which we go through the newsletter, actually. We have timestamps during the Power Hour, so any topic that I discuss you want to come back to, I do my best to keep timestamps and post them in the comments of each video. We do have alerts and price. We have alerts on price levels for coins. Everybody thank Paul. A lot of custom indicators that we use, the volume aggregation tool. You see me use that. Bars are a tool. We don't use a lot anymore, but we have a lot of other indicators like the follow-through day system, which we use to kind of help time the Bitcoin market. It's a very, very good tool. That's included in the show. We have a lot of good links and stuff to help you get started, some introductory videos. Basically 7 hours with myself. You can use that however you want. If you just want to listen, you can listen. If you want to participate, I encourage that, actually. And we stream 7 days a week, just barring, personal events, kids soccer and stuff like that. Like we took Saturdays off for a while because I had to go do soccer in the morning. I don't control the soccer schedule. Other than that, that's the power hour, and we do it every day. So wrapping up, the market just rolled over, and Ethereum taking out some pretty key levels here. In dangerous territory. Bitcoin still holding up relatively well. We haven't fully broken down, but it does appear that the selling pressure is remaining elevated while the buying pressure is kind of staying away from the market. A lot of altcoins have dropped. Solana into new lows, not a good look. You got BNB with a larger break today, which historically it doesn't get. You have AVAX undercutting lows. A lot of coins undercutting lows, which is not a good sign. The only thing bullish in the market right now, in my estimation, is the fact that Bitcoin hasn't fully shat yet. It'll probably get there at some point in time, but there's definitely a flight to quality, and I think Bitcoin is considered that quality. So while these altcoins are, dying off, essentially, I mean, a lot of these are already down substantial percentages. Bitcoin really isn't down that much. So I think I'm a little bit encouraged by that, but it's not going to be able to hold up forever if this selling pressure continues. We're sitting here living on this. We're actually below the 30,000 line, but the real level here is 28.8, which we're currently below, but not that much below. We could try to bounce back. We mentioned volume not that substantial on Bitcoin. It is a weekend. Weekend volume is going to come into effect, and we'll really see what's going to happen on Monday. Is it going to be a shakeout weekend where they try to shake us out lower and they rally us up? Or is it going to be one where Monday we just fall apart because there's nothing out there being supported? We'll really know on Monday. So, all right, everyone, have a great day. Stay safe out there. Appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next.